Hello from Sarah, and look at this new beautiful Tunisian stitch I've called the Tunisian Plait Stitch because of this lovely braided motif here. And would you believe this lovely new stitch is created using only two Tunisian basic stitches, such as the Tunisian Simple Stitch and the Tunisian Full Stitch, to obtain this amazing ribbed texture. So let's get started. Please consider that for this stitch you will need to chain an odd number of stitches. Also remember, you will find all useful links of all stitches and techniques used in this video, both in the description below and in the top right hand corner of your screen. So here I have started from a standard foundation row of 11 stitches, and now I will begin with the stitch pattern right away. So first, the loop on the hook already counts as stitch number 1. Now I will begin with a full stitch, a Tunisian full stitch. If you remember, the full stitch is done by inserting the hook in the space between vertical bars. So in this case, between the vertical bar right under the loop on the hook and the first vertical bar. So here in between, I will insert my hook, yarn over and drop a loop. Second stitch will be another full stitch. So we skip this vertical bar and make a full stitch here in the space between the next two vertical bars. And that's stitch number 2. Now I will make a Tunisian simple stitch under the next vertical bar. So this is the next vertical bar. I will insert the hook there from right to left, yarn over and draw up a loop. Now I will make another 2 Tunisian full stitches here. So right after the simple stitch, we will insert the hook here in the space between bars and full stitch, and another full stitch in the next space between bars here. And this is how you will proceed. So we have just made 2 Tunisian full stitches. Now we will make a Tunisian simple stitch here under the next vertical bar and drop a loop, and followed by 2 Tunisian full stitches. So right after the simple stitch just made, a full stitch and another full stitch. Then Tunisian simple stitch under the next vertical bar, followed by 2 full stitches in the next 2 spaces. Okay, so here and here. Then another simple stitch here, and 2 Tunisian full stitches in the next 2 spaces between bars. So here and here, finishing as always with the so-called neat closing stitch. That is to say, we insert the hook under both the front vertical bar and the back vertical bar of that last border stitch here. Okay, yarn over and drop a loop. So the return pass for this stitch is different than the standard one, but it is very repetitive and easy to remember, and it is done like this. So you yarn over and pull through 1 loop only first, then you yarn over again and pull through 3 loops together, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, then again yarn over, pull through 3 loops together, yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, and so on until the end of the row. So yarn over and pull through 3, yarn over and pull through 2, pull through 3, pull through 2, 3, and we yarn over and pull through the 2 last loops on the hook. And that's row number 2, because I always consider the foundation row as row number 1. And this is the stitch pattern already. Okay, and this is how we proceed in row number 3 and in the following rows. Take a look at your stitch pattern and identify the forms that you have created, the figures. So we have these kind of upturned V's here. These ones, can you see them? Okay, alternated by these single vertical bars here. So it is important that you recognize these stitches, because you will begin now with, again, with 2 full stitches. The first will be made in the space between the vertical bar, right under the loop on the hook, here, full stitch. And the second full stitch will be made right after the inverted V, so here. Okay, so it's practically after 2 stitches. Okay, now we have this single vertical bar here in which we will work a Tunisian simple stitch. So just like before, basically, but we consider in a way these inverted V's here as 1 stitch, around which we will make our 2 Tunisian full stitches. So after my simple stitch here, we will work again 2 full stitches, so 1 before the inverted V and 1 after the inverted V. Okay, then we have our single vertical bar here, and we'll make a simple stitch. Then again 2 full stitches, 1 before the inverted V and 1 after it, here. Then simple stitch in that single vertical bar, then 2 full stitches here, then simple stitch here, followed by the last 2 full stitches of the row here, finishing as always with a neat closing stitch in that border stitch here. Mind that you will always finish with more loops on the hook than you have initially chained. This is absolutely normal. And the return pass is always the same. So just like before, we will yarn over and pull through 1 loop only first, then we will yarn over and pull through 3 loops together first, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, alternating between these 2 movements. So pull through 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 2. See? The texture is already forming with this inverted, with these lines of inverted V's forming. So now you know how to proceed in row number 4. So once again, you will start with 2 full stitches, followed by a simple stitch, then 2 full stitches, simple stitch, 2 full stitches, simple stitch, and so on until the end, and the return will be always the same. Okay, so pull through 1 loop only first, then pull through 3 loops together, then pull through 2 loops together until the end, alternating between the 2 movements. And this is it. I love this stitch, I really do, and I think I will use it in my next project, which is a poncho with slits. Look at the ribbing it produces, and it looks particularly knit-like, I believe. So it would be ideal for any clothing project, for example, done in Tunisian crochet. Also for some ribbing, like for a neckline, a ribbed neckline, or for sleeves, cuffs, or the bottom of a sweater, or even a blanket, why not? Or a cowl, well, for everything, because it looks rather classic and very regular looking. And this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time with something beautiful in Tunisian crochet. Bye bye.